Today I'm going to walk you through how to calibrate your Platypus deposit optimization tool. When you open your tool, you're going to find this calibration and a calculator tab. We're going to be working today on the calibration tab. The first thing we want to do is move some of this previously current calibration information that's now outdated over into these static fields so that it can be used to be calculating some of the time-lapse calculation options within the model. And so what we're going to do is select the VPTP and the date that the last calibration occurred. We're going to right click and hit copy. And we're going to move over here and we're going to right click and then go to paste special values. It's important to do values because that means it's going to be just the numbers and not any underlying formulas. The next thing we're going to do is move the current date, so that's what it currently is, to now the current calibration, again using paste special values. And then that's going to lock in the date. We're going to copy and paste the entire liquidity pool as it stands over into the previous liquidity pool option in case we want to model changes in the liquidity pool. We're going to enter what the current Platypus price is per PTP. And finally, then we're going to input the total VPTP supply. To do that, we're going to go to the platypus.finance webpage. We're going to click on the VPTP tab. And then there's a little button down here that says Boost Your Calculator, which is going to open up this window. And then down here, you're going to see total VPTP supply. And so we're going to copy that. And we're going to paste it into our spreadsheet. The next thing we're going to do is start calibrating each individual pool. And what I like to do for that is actually delete all the old information just so I can keep track of where I'm at a little easier. It's really important when we open up a pool, and we select the pool, that we change both the deposit amount and your VPTP amount to 1,000. This is essentially what we use as the baseline to calculate the model. Then we're going to copy the liquidity information and paste it in. Oops, I need to clear out what I had all the cells selected. So I'm going to copy the liquidity information and paste it into the cell. And then we're going to look at the base APR down here as 3%. We're going to look at the boosted APR as 6.2%. And that's based on having a 1,000 VPT and a 1,000 deposit. We're then going to move on to fracs. And you'll notice that the 1,000 stayed at the VPTP, but it didn't stay for the deposit amount. So you're going to need to change that each time that you change the pool. You're going to copy the pool liquidity information, paste it over here, then look at the base APR, which is 15.3, and the boost APR is 8.9%. Then we're going to move on to the next pool. Again, we need to reset the 1,000, and we can copy, paste, type in the base APR, type in the boost APR. This process is a little bit cumbersome. However, you really save a lot of time and optimization power once you get the tool calibrated, and then you can start doing a lot of cool stuff on the calculation tab for adjusting and optimizing your deposits. So we're just going to keep moving through these, remembering each time to reset the deposits to 1,000, copying and pasting, and entering the base APR and the boost APR. And then when we get through with this, I'm going to show you a couple other little options that are available to you on the calibration tab. Moving through here, almost done. And it's important to remember that you reset every time that deposit to 1,000 so that the model knows what it is basing its calibration on in terms of deposits and VPTP value. Which once the tool is calibrated, you can use on the calculation tab what your actual VPTP is, what your actual deposits are, and it'll adjust from there. Final pool, one of the newest ones, UST pool. Gonna copy, paste value. Okay. I'll note that the UST pool right now is also offering a boost in UST. That's not reflected in the calculator. So if you wanted to capture that information, you could look at the pool page and enter the base APR value based on the total APR. So we have now completed the calibration of our tools. So we're ready to go on the calculation page and start rolling along. However, there's a couple things I want to point out as other options you have. One is you can choose to either time calculate the amount of earning PTP that is out there. And I say earning because it's possible that some PTP has hit its cap. It's also possible that someone has unlocked some PTP or unstaked some PTP, which has resulted in them losing all of their VPTP. And there's a number of different factors that can change how quickly VPTP is currently accumulating. And so using the time calculation is going to estimate that for you. However, certainly before PTP reaches a cap, looking at manually entering the value based on a known quantity of total PTP staked is another option. So you can do that by changing this drop-down menu and then manually entering how much PTP you believe is staked right now and earning VPTP. The other option you can do is either not model changes in the liquidity pool, which is generally what I recommend, unless there's something really dramatic that's occurring. Maybe the stock market's crashing, or they just added a whole bunch of new liquidity pools like they just did earlier today, and then things are changing. And so one option is you can model change in your pool liquidity. Now, on the calculation tab, I'm looking at a multiple day forecast, and it's going to warn me that it's not really advised to use this for a multi-day forecast. However, right now I do want to do that because I want to look at how some of these pools are going to potentially change based on the change that's occurred based in the last, half a day or so. We can see that pools like the UST pool, if it continues to grow at this rate for the next number of days, it could increase from the current 17 million all the way up to maybe 95 million. And I may want to choose to model my forecasting based on that expectation. And so that can be done by toggling on or off the don't or do model changes in liquidity pool. With that, that completes the training on how to calibrate your Platypus deposit optimization tool. I do hope you keep your yields maximized.